You're in control. Hello, everyone. Hello. Alley Cat, what time is it where you are? Hi, Olga. Hi, Sai. Hey, Screamstress. Hey, Shelly. Hello, Jennifer. Jennifer, I had something I had to tell you and I don't remember now. Dang it. I should have wrote it down. Hey, Jennifer D. Hey, Iron. Hey, Serenity Vocalized. Checking out and seeing everyone who's here. Hello, Divine Magic. How you doing? Hi, Rose. Hi, Leonard. Hi, Dusty. Hi, Death Siren. Hey, Melanie. Hi, Scorpio. Hi, Keith. Hi, Leslie. Hey, Monica. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? Sorry I haven't put anything up for you in 2 days. I feel like I was fist fighting with myself a little bit. I like to show up at my best for you all. I think I had a breakthrough today, though. Hi, Ariel Darkstar. I'm glad to hear you're peachy. Yeah, so I could tell your energy was a little heavy this weekend, too. You'll be a lurker due to work. Well, I'm glad. I'm grateful you're still here, Scorpio. Thank you. So we're going to dive into a new deck tonight that Mr. J. Marion suggested to me last week because it's called the Black Tarot. And I like it. The artwork's very dark. Jay Marin has a YouTube tarot channel. I like his vibe. He's a very earth angel. He has good energy. But I was on his live and he was like, Morgan, do you have this tarot deck? I'm like, no. How do I not have the tarot deck called the Black Tarot? So I've been working with it the past couple of days. Yeah, it is such a beautiful deck. It actually looks a lot like the charcoal drawings that I do. I like it. I'm not familiar with the supernatural deck, Sai. I'll have to look that up too. Oh, the cards flipped every which way. Sky Witch and I were playing with this today while we were playing Dress Up. Hi, Lala. Lala, did you get to see your reading from Friday night? I don't know if you were still on the live when I got to your reading. It was great energy. Well, I'm glad you're hanging in there, Death Siren. Some days it feels like that, doesn't it? I don't know. This weekend I felt like I was holding on tight for a few. I think so. I've been getting a lot of downloads today, like a lot of downloads. I don't know if I want to just jump into the tarot and see what comes out. Kind of wanted to feel out your energy. I feel like a lot of it was kind of deep. The TV show Dean and Sam Winchester. Oh, that's the deck? Oh, that's cool. Is that what you're talking about? I'm familiar with that. Very cool. Yeah, please go back and watch your reading, Lala. It was cool. If the Ghost Tube app has had your attention all weekend, should I turn it on while we're doing this? I haven't touched it since Friday, actually. I started chasing them all away. I was like, oh, there's too much stuff up in my energy. I was getting irritated. Here, hold on. I'm going to turn it on because I haven't touched it all weekend. Let's see what comes up. We're using the Seer app, Screamstress. I like dark deck size, obviously. I like dark. I like the dark. Well, that's cool. Look at that. A bunch of witches doing their thing under the full moon. That's what came up when I turned it on. 4 feminines, looks like. Doing a little moon magic. Hey, Ice Wolf, how's it going? All right. I'm going to go straight to this black tarot deck. Let's see what comes out. Screamstress is definitely ready with her app. Have you been using it, Jennifer? I bet you get a lot of activity off of it, too. Yeah, I feel like I was fist fighting with that little Dobby guy a little bit in my dreamscape the other night. Oh no, don't say sorry, Screamstress. I think that stuff sometimes is sent to like more than one of us, you know? Definitely familiar with trickster spirits. Looks like a Bible to me because of the way that you can't see it in the screen, but the way that the text is wrote. I kind of like that it looks like it has railroad spikes next to it. Actually, that's kind of interesting because I've been getting a lot of downloads today. That's what it was I wanted to say to you, Jennifer, is you said something to me last week that it's a statement I haven't heard in a long time, and it was read between the lines. And I've been meditating on that line, and that I kind of meditated further on a conversation Jennifer and I had a conversation last week about, reading between the lines in ancient text, right? Because I've been fist fighting with myself a little bit about putting up different content because it's so important to me that everyone has their own energetic sovereignty and everyone knows their own personal truth, I think, because and so sometimes I'm scared to put up certain teachings because I've just been very institutionally influenced, and not that I'm an institution, but I just want everyone to find their own way, so I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's something I've been wrestling with, right? Like, the information needs to be out there, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm very clear with people that they know that it completely resonates with their soul, because their truth might be a little different. So I've been meditating a lot on Jennifer. I like that you get deep in conversation because I do too. Yeah, that's my jam. So Jennifer and I were having this conversation about it. She was, I was supposed to be coaching her, but she was helping me talk through this a little bit too, you know. Um, and I've been meditating actually just on that one statement, reading between the lines. A lot of it has to do with where magic is in the Bible, right? Because I have a lot of it's not so much my Catholic roots, but it was actually like this New Age Christianity influence that really veiled my third eye for like a decade. And I don't like the level that I allowed myself to be influenced by that. So I would never want to take anyone else's energetic sovereignty away the way I felt I allowed mine to be taken. So because of that, I don't put up certain content of things that I feel like I'm supposed to be teaching on. Sorry, you guys are listening to my brain out loud. Let me get to the tarot cards. Thank you, Olga. Yeah, that's cool, Sai. Screamstress, have you been getting... Do you get pictures that you're like not quite sure what they are? It's like, looks like Bates Motel. It even says motel on it. It looks like it says motel. What does that say? You see the lettering in that? Sometimes it's like not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what's trying to come through on that thing. There's only been a few of those. It looks like it's trying to say motel. Looks like Psycho Motel. I don't know. Right? It does look like Psycho in the letters. All right. Let's see what's going on in the collective energy. Okay, I like this. First of all, one thing I want to point out that I really like about this deck, I'm looking at the Ten of Spheres. The spheres are pentacles. Something I really like about this deck is the pentacles are energy spheres. And it feels like a lot of times in our... when we talk about manifesting pentacles, right, things of the physical world, so much of our beliefs hold us back from doing that because pentacles represent money and resources. But if we look at money and resources as energy, it abolishes so many of our beliefs around it. So I like how all the spheres in this deck are actually energy. To me, it puts just a completely different perspective on it. So I'm looking at the Fool in reverse, the Temperance in reverse, and the 10 of Pentacles. And what I heard was, how do you think you're going to get to the 10 of Pentacles when you're so dark? Okay, there's a judgment. There was like this voice of judgment that came out, okay? But what many people don't understand, that don't look at a shadow or look at their shadow side, is that is part of our wholeness, right? It's actually very possible to get to the 10 of Pentacles when you start to, as Jennifer said to me, read between the lines. We start to read in between the lines of things and really kind of get to know ourselves or create an identity for ourselves that feels authentic, then actually it's the fastest way to the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, they do kind of look like MC Escher, Leslie. They totally do. Speaking of the dark, The band and I have been talking a lot about death and rebirth cycles, and how in so much ancient texts, and including in tarot, we talk a lot about the death and rebirth cycles, but we talk a lot more about the death cycle than the rebirth cycle, the Tower, the Emperor, and the Queen of Cups. The Emperor and the Queen of Cups is representing the duality, right? There's like this duality with the light and the dark, but is there really a duality? Because what we call a shadow at the end of the day, what a shadow really is when we talk about a shadow and doing shadow work, what we're talking about is we're talking about beliefs that do not resonate with us, and beliefs that have been created in our life that have pushed parts of our identity into the shadow. They're considered dark, they're considered dense, they're considered primal. And we create towers for ourselves when we go in and we look at these identities, when we look at the shadow, because so many of these beliefs were not built on any kind of solid foundation. And what resonates with these beliefs are guilt and shame and regret and all of those things. And there's this constant push and pull. There's this constant push and pull when we're trying to heal and we're trying to integrate this shadow, okay? When we're wrestling with, why can't we get down to the bottom of this belief? Why can't I change this behavior? Why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like this? Rather than wiping everything out and building a brand new tower, the rebirth, on a strong foundation, on a clean slate. We can choose what identities we take from the shadow. Justice, the Hierophant in reverse, and the Nine of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so even today I was watching this video on this is what this is reminding me of. I was watching this video on neogenesis, which I appreciate very much, but it was talking about how difficult it is to reformulate our belief systems, okay? And as someone who worked in what we call today in society trauma-informed care for so many years, working with people with severe trauma, healing my own severe trauma, working with people with mental illness, everything comes from a deficit, everything comes from a lack. Okay? You can't even get proper help unless you play the game of labels. These self-defeating labels and these places of deficit and these places of lack, okay? Rather than, at one point, we started talking about what is called strength-based trauma-informed care, focusing on people's strengths rather than their weaknesses, okay? If we go into a belief, and it's so hard for us to change because it's bringing up the shame, guilt, regret, all of these things. Why don't we just blow it the fuck up? We can create whatever identity that we want. There's justice in that, okay? This Hierophant in reverse. None of this has to be real to us. None of these institutional beliefs have to be real to us. And we can make our own justice. So it's like, especially, that's why, a lot of times, like the band says to me, no, tell them they're healed, not that they're healing. They've spent lifetimes healing. They're healed, right? It's that shift in perception. And we work so hard to change all these things that don't resonate with us. But why don't we just blow them the fuck up and build new? That's reading between the lines. That's the true death and rebirth. The rebirth is brand new. Everything is brand new. Everything. Everything. I used to make jokes in church years ago about, people getting baptized and going through the rebirth and going, why don't we get a new name? If I'm new, if supposedly all this is done, if it's that big of an identity shift, why wouldn't I even just also get a new name? Is a new name what you need to believe that all that shit is done? Then give yourself a new name. You know what I mean? We can choose half towers. We can choose whole towers. We can choose to wrestle with ourselves, to change beliefs, focus on our weaknesses, focus on our strengths, focus on healings, or we can blow it all the fuck up and start over again. Why don't we ever talk about that? That sounds like justice to me. Yeah, new beginning like a black rose. Hell yeah. We have the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, there's false messages about new beginnings. Because the false messages that come in about new beginnings is that we have to go backwards. We talk so much about releasing the past, but then we're asked to go backwards into all of these things in the mind and change our beliefs. Well, if we're really fucking magical and we have the ability to change our beliefs, then we have the ability to completely delete it, like restart our systems, wipe out the data, and start new. I'm a visual person. I know sometimes I need visual things to do that. I talked to you all about how this past year I had taken a bunch of photographs and I had worked on a series of paintings, of shadow paintings. I was trying to figure out who the heck I am, I needed to change some things about my beliefs, my identity. I was working through some trauma stuff. You know what I did with all of those paintings today? Like a rage room. I took a hammer to all of them and then I burned them. You know why? Because that's not who I am anymore. So why would I put it in a storage unit and pay for it for the next 100 years for it to be in the back of my mind? Everything takes up energy. I moved on from those identities. It's finished. It's done. Yeah, I want peace, love, respect, and human kindness too, Alicia. I'm with you on that. That's the alchemy of the magician too, Alicia, because love is the highest vibration. It's the most sacred energy. It's the most powerful energy. And I know so many people that are on this chat right now that you're magicians, okay? And there's so much dense and dark energy in the world right now. It takes all of that energy for what they're creating. And transmuting even a drop of that energy into love is so much more powerful than everything that's in the world right now. Looking at 2 men on a bus. Ariel Darkstar, I love that God didn't allow you to be baptized. I don't know if you're a writer, but I wish you would write a short story about that. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Swords in the upright. Yeah, it's these labels that we're fed. It's that we're meant to feel defeated. The world wants us to feel defeated. This used to kill me. This used to kill me when I was a social worker. You know, I wanted to help these kids. I dealt with kids that were just dealing with some of the toughest things, some of the toughest trials you can be put through in this lifetime. And I was there to help. But unless I filled out paperwork that put all these labels on them, abused, trafficked, mentally disturbed, traumatized, unless I got a psychologist to sign off with all of these different diagnoses, they couldn't get help. How do you think that affects a young person moving forward, seeing all that paperwork about them with all of those stories and all of those labels? I know many of us have experienced that too, that are here. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. But it's the way, if we stay defeated, if we stay weak, if we stay in that identity. Well, that's interesting. Look, it's like a bunch of gangsters with guns. What is that in his hand? Is that the agents? It looks like the agents. Yeah, Alicia, but in order to get therapy, all of these horrific things would have to be put on paper, and all of these diagnoses. And was it really true? No. We were told to play the game. We were told to play the game in order to get these children's services. The more diagnoses, the more services. And then I'm running behind that going, none of that is really true about you. This is the game. This is the game we have to play to get you in a safe space. Graveyard again. Here we go. Death. Death to the old. What is the new identity going to be? Very damaging labels. They're very damaging labels. I'd rather talk about how we're healed. We're healed. Who you want to be today. You can be anybody you want. What do you want to believe? When we take on a new identity, we rewrite down all those beliefs and all of those values. You can wipe out the rest like a computer. That's what we're not told. That's what I wasn't told when I did IFS training and all of this other stuff, okay? Rather talk about how people have all these complexities and thousands of personalities and identities to keep you stuck, to keep reintegrating the old. Some of it you might want to reintegrate. I dig the stuff of my ancestors, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's just dangerous to us. It's dangerous to our liberation, right? 9 of Wands. Yeah. The wounded warrior. The wounded warrior becomes the healer. How about the healed person? Then becomes the healer. Nine of Wands and 9 of Cups in reverse. Oh, that's interesting. They're showing me like a monk that's meditating. The wounded healer. We're constantly told to strip parts of our identity, right? Like even in whether it's Eastern or Western culture, whether it's Eastern or Western religions, right? Strip the ego, strip that, bring this back in, reintegrate this. Eastern culture wants us to reintegrate parts of ourselves that have been lost through trauma, and Western culture wants us to release parts of ourselves that have been afflicted by trauma. Why not just wipe it all out? Just like we wipe out a computer. I wiped out over 10,000 photos today off of my hard drive. Because it's not who I am anymore. What am I holding on to? Really? My pain? Memories that I don't want? Queen of Spheres. I love the pentacles in these cards. They're so cool. Grounded. It's hard for us to stay grounded in our identity when we feel this need to constantly fight with ourselves to be healed. It's tough. I'm doing it for 25 years. For us that care, right? Like for us that do this work. Yeah, assimilating things that are useful and productive from our experiences, absolutely, Scorpio. I agree with you 100%. That's how we don't do the lessons again, right? That's how we don't do the lessons again. But so many of us struggle with the memories. We have the Page of Wands in reverse, the Lover's card, and the Emperor. A choice over emotional memories or energetic sovereignty. Tell me more about this Lover's card. Because once the knowledge is integrated, the only thing that's left in the memory is emotion. It's how a lot of great art is really created, right? It's moving those emotions, but then what do you do with it from there? Have you completely released it? Depends on how strong the memory was, right? Tell me more about this Lover's card. You know, we talk so much about protecting our energy, even protecting our energy from past lives, from past life experiences, from past life people. But if we're regularly going through a death and rebirth cycle and changing our energetic footprint, then we don't have to worry about any of those energies trailing us. Don't have to worry about people attacking our energy. They can't find it. The Star, the Hermit. These two cards together, defining the choice, is the complete of energetic sovereignty. It's trusting self over anything else. That's why we go into hermit mode. Why do we trust self over anything else? Because we know the 50-50 of it. We know the shadow, we know the humanness, and we know our divinity. That's the only way anyone can truly get to their star. People that claim to be all light fist fight with their humanity constantly, or they ignore it, they disassociate from it. And people that live solely in the idea that they're just a human, well, they're very caught up in the matrix. So they never get to experience joy. They never get to experience their own divinity, their own star. Understanding their north node. You got a bearded white man in a red coat? Did you get Santa? Oh, okay. So that's it too. This is part of the wrestling that we do. For those of us that want to heal, that don't want to be identified by our trauma, that know that there's more than here and now, okay? There's a lot of things going on at once. There's no good or bad. There's no naughty or nice list. There's a lukewarm list, though. There's a list full of muggles. Scream stress. That's who you want to protect your energy against. The lukewarm. Those that are content in their muggleness. Muggle schmuggles. Hey, James T. James T, you live in the land of muggles. You're surrounded. There's a lot of muggles by you, James. Places people go to retire. Oh, I'm so glad you're there, though, James. You do have a special assignment. Four of Swords and the Judgment card. The only human that can truly call judgment on you, that really sincerely can call judgment on you, is you. Because you're creating your own little reality. We're all creating our own reality in the midst of this collective consciousness. So whether you choose to embrace your shadow, not embrace your shadow, wipe it out, create a new identity. You're all doing it as a way to be closer to the collective consciousness, right? So you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Hi, Terry. Oh, Screamster, does it do that to you? Does it keep saying, are you still there? Is there a way I wonder if there's a way for me to get rid of that setting on this ghost tube, because it'll stop tracking stuff and I don't realize it until I look over, because I haven't heard a ding in a while. Jennifer, you got bloody intestines. Well, you kept seeing lion faces today while you were out working. I can't remember the significance of the Bridge of Lions. Do you know, James? Like why the lions are at the end of the bridge? The gatekeepers? screams as you're trying to get the unicorn to show up. Eight of Swords. Knight of Cups. Seven of Cups. This is really beautiful, this Seven of Cups. See how she's standing on top of those cups? She has freedom in her emancipation, understanding all of her options, rather than being confused or in disillusionment about all of her options. A lot of times we talk about getting rid of optionality to have focus. But she doesn't need that. She knows the world is at her feet because she understands her divinity. I like that. And there's even more cups moving towards her with the Knight of Cups. That's weird. Look at that. I've never gotten a picture like that. Have you? Eyes closed to the options. Tell me more about this Eight of Swords. That's strange. Americans think they're all witches and warlocks because we come from Europe. So many of our ancestors were. The Sun. The Two of Wands in reverse. Which option is your sun? Well, that's the beauty, though. You get to choose, really, at the end of the day. Look at how beautiful that sun card is. How much energy that is. Tell me more about this sun card. Americans do give witches a bad name. Dark Star, you're absolutely right. I mean, Americans did burn a lot of people claiming that they were witches. That doesn't look so good, amongst other things. Americans care about what you believe. The moon and the sun. Okay, what's this about? I never see these two cards together side by side like that. Let's look at this. Moon has all the moon phases on it. Tell me more about this moon. Really darker homes. I don't have any young children, so I don't really look at many like children's books. That's interesting to know, though. Stories and media are anti-witch. Well, the churches are fighting really hard to stay funded and in power right now. So there might be some good old witch burning again. It might be witch burning propaganda. Yeah, I agree, Robin. I'm not big on titles either. That's interesting. I have to dive a little bit into that. Darker homes. My brain likes to deep dive and analyze things like that and write about it. Oh, Jamie, I love that. I used to get teased when I was a little kid because everyone used to call my mom the witch on the hill. Because we had black carpet throughout our house. So they deemed her a witch. And speaking of witches. Lala, you would have thought I was the cool kid. That would have been great. I would have had one friend. All right, what's behind the moon here? Tell me what's behind the moon. The sun and the moon, the dark and the light. Tell us more about this, please. The world. Temperance. Oh, I like that. Well, temperance is the fire and the water. It's the dark and the light. The world is the closing. The world is the joining of the sun and the moon. The integration. This is truly going through the rebirth with the world. Just like we were just talking about. Embracing and creating the whole new identity. Not repressing those corners that we don't want to look at. Honoring them. Dropping the labels that no longer fit us. No longer being the scarecrow. Yes, we're still here. Oh, it went away. I don't know if you caught that. Temperance is the key to magic. Temperance is the key to being magical AF. The balance of fire and water. The balance of dark and light. The balance of the sun and the moon. I only think one other time have I done a reading where the moon and the sun have come out next to each other like that. What is this? It looks like something from aviation. What is that? What is that supposed to be? Does anybody know? Anybody know what that is? Or is it anything? Yes, cults are definitely still a religion. I got asked last week if I was attempting to become a cult leader. I said, do you really watch my stuff? I said, why would you even ask me that? All I talk about is wanting everyone to have energetic sovereignty. How does that make somebody a cult leader? That's the opposite of being a cult leader. That's the exact opposite of being a cult leader. Yes, I got an email, Lewis. You know, all those biases. And I live in San Francisco, so. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Is that maple syrup or alcohol? What is that? I was thinking about Vermont when that came up. It's funny. Four of Wands in reverse. Yes, thank you, Dusty. You grew up in a cult, and this is not a cult with the Four of Wands in reverse. This is not a portal to a cult mentality. Energetic sovereignty. Understanding your own truth and being able to coexist with other people is the exact opposite of a cult. Now it's showing me a farm. Tell me more about this world card. Tell me more about this world card. The Page of Wands. The Tower in reverse. Going your own way as the sun and the moon. Call this the Fleetwood Mac card, the Page of Wands. Going your own way, baby. Why the Tower in reverse? Oh, the Tower is in reverse because you're choosing to live in your own identity. There's no reason for it to come crumbling down when it's built on a solid foundation. This is representing your identity, going your own way, living in your own identity. Confirmation from Sky. Tell me more about this Tower in reverse. Tell me more about this identity card. Digging this tarot deck. The Eight of Swords in reverse. No longer fighting with the mind. This is not even having to reverse or talk about for 50 years in therapy how other people's beliefs have affected our lives. Just knowing that we have energetic sovereignty as the Emperor. Deleting it. Deleting the old hard drive. And this can happen many times in our life. Many, many times. I think I'm on my 10th or 11th life in this lifetime. That's the cycle of nature, though. There's seasons. There's death and rebirths constantly. Let's talk about your magic with this Temperance card. The Hierophant, the Nine of Swords. Oh, Dusty, I feel like this is for you. I feel like there's a little space travel going on there. Feels very galactic. The Hierophant is the 5. It's the symbol of change. The 9 of Swords. Somebody doesn't like your magic. Tell me more about this Hierophant. They think you're in a cult. The cult thinks you're in a cult. Tell me more about this Hierophant. King of Wands in reverse. Oh, hold on. I just lost a ton of cards. Queen of Spheres in reverse. Oh, the Magician in the upright. Is this King of Wands in reverse and Queen of Spheres in reverse the same energy? Did you order the goggles yet, Screamstress? Did you order the goggles this weekend? I bet you did you? Strength. 3 of Cups. No, it is not. It's multiple energies. This is the Cult Coven energies. The King of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Spheres in reverse, the 3 of Cups in reverse, and the Strength card in the upright. You're doing something right now that looks way too easy to someone, to multiple people. You're doing something that looks too easy, and they don't like it. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. But this is how you look to them. You look like the Magician. Because you are. Because you're the Magician. You make it look too easy. Because they're caught up in their head with the 9 of Swords and the Hierophant. They're too caught up in their own legalism. They don't understand why you don't follow the rules and why you make it and how you make it look so easy. How did you get here? They don't understand how you got here. To the space of the Magician. I didn't see. Did you get the goggles, Screamstress? Planning on it. Tell me more about this Magician. See, that's a judgment though, right? That's a judgment. Other people relating their biases and beliefs as a judgment against you, thinking that it's easy. Although, you know, the work of energetic sovereignty doesn't just happen overnight. This is just what we were talking about. It's not that easy. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of thought. It Takes a lot of energy to integrate this. So no, it's not that easy, but you make it look easy. Or maybe it is just that easy. Maybe it is just wiping out the hard drive and starting over. James, you want a new name? Hey, Universal Heart. Glad you're here. Who you want to be, James? I'll tell you a secret, James. Once upon a time, Morgan Black was not my legal name. Tell me more about the magician. Tell me more about the magician. The Knight of Wands in reverse. Tell me more about the magician. The Four of Cups, the Chariot in reverse, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is an energy of there are multiple energies that are not understanding like why you're so blessed, why you're so joyful, why you are able to live in a space of gratitude, because you are not following the rules. You are not taking the path with the Chariot in reverse, okay? You're not running the maze. Somehow you figured out the labyrinth, but not by the same rule books that they have, okay? So they can't understand why Spirit would be handing you a cup, why you would have these cups that are helping you towards your manifestation. And it's aggravating them with the Knight of Wands in reverse. Tell me more. No, I don't care. I don't want to know anything more about this energy. Do you? I don't. Tell me more about this sun and the moon. Yes, James, Spirit does love us all. If we really believe in a collective consciousness, we do believe that we're one. But the beauty is, the definition of love is energetic sovereignty. So people get to choose whether they want to come along for the ride or not. No Morgan what? No Morgan, James T. What? What did I miss? I don't, and yes, I did. This thing moves quicker than I can keep an eye on all of it. You got a horse again? We got all that 1895 energy coming in. Tell me about this light and dark. Just got some reading glasses. Is that the read between the lines, Jennifer? It's all it is a pair of reading glasses. 3 of Wands in reverse. Behind the moon. Read between the lines. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. 4 of Swords in the upright. There's someone, this keeps coming out. I keep trying to get rid of this energy, but there's someone in your energy who is mentally taxing to them. It is making their brain hurt with this 3 of Wands and this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. They can't figure out. They feel whoever this energy is, they feel like they have done everything the right way. They have done everything the way that they have been told to do it since the beginning of time. They have followed every single rule, yet they don't like where they are. They don't like their life. They don't like where they are. They don't like their identity. And they see you as the magician, and they can't figure it out. They can't. It's like it's because based, how do I say this right? Tell me how to say this right. It's like all of the rules that they have followed, okay? All of the ways they have believed is right living, they have followed to the T. But there's no joy in it. And there's something in their rule book saying that the way that you are and the fact that you're not following their rules, that you should not be the magician. Your Wheel of Fortune should be in reverse, okay? The 3 of Wands should be in reverse for you. It should be dark. It should be black as night. There should not be things on the horizon, because that's what their rule book says. But this person is, whoever this is in your energy, is so intrigued. It's messing with their head so bad because they've never questioned the rules. And somehow, from watching your life, it has put them in a tailspin. They are questioning everything that they have ever believed. They don't like you right now for it, okay? I'll just say that. But what they don't know is that's a blessing. They're waking up. Whoever this is in the 4 of Swords is waking up. They're waking up. James, when were you completely dark? I like it. How dark were you really, James? You were still pure of heart, I can tell. You can be dark and pure of heart. Hey, Alaskan Dan, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Oh, scream stress. Starting to get distracted by the app. I love it. Well, Dark Star, all things are permissible, but not everything is beneficial. That's the real truth of whether someone's truly dark or light. You're doing things that are harmful to others. Although the truth is if we claim to have energetic sovereignty, all those things are permissible. But are you doing things to harm others? Well, then that's impeding on their energetic sovereignty. So then do you really believe that you're free? If we really believe that we're free, why would we want to harm anyone else? Oh, James T, of course you were in an MC. Oh, that's why our shadows are kindred spirits. Ace of Spheres. The Ace of Pentacles. Tell me more about the Ace of Spheres. The Hanged Man. There's something about going in for a higher perspective on this energetic sovereignty. Why? What more? Or wait, are we still talking about this Four of Swords energy? I'm getting distracted. I'm looking at the chat, but I like talking to y'all. Whose energy is this? Whose energy is this? Is this that Four of Swords energy? The Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. This energy, this past energy, okay, whether they are still, I don't know if you physically have contact with them right now. It doesn't feel like it. Like, I don't think this is someone who's involved in your day-to-day life is not what it feels like, but it's someone who observes, okay? They might even be observing from a distance, but what they can't figure out, what they cannot get a higher perspective on is how you are able to harness all this energy as the magician while not taking from others with the Six of Spheres in reverse. They don't know how to, their belief systems is they don't understand how to get ahead without taking advantage of others. Now that's dark. That's dark. When we say dark, that's what we really mean. That's what dark is. Not what we're talking about, what we're calling dark. This is dark. This is dark. This energy can figure out how you are the magician, how you harness all of this energy without taking it from others. They are extremely perplexed about this. I have no idea why this is coming through on this reading right now, why this energy is coming through on the reading, but it's coming through loud and clear. And I keep trying to clear it and it keeps coming back. Oh, weird. It's like almost kind of partly looks like two faces. Like one is sucking the soul out of the other one. All right, I just picked up all the cards. Let me see if I can get another message. Walk away. I don't know why we keep getting that energy coming through. Another one of those images. Have no idea what it is. It's rare I hear sirens from in here because it's like a tomb. I'm sure you can hear those sirens right now. This person may be coming towards you in the near future because they want to understand the voodoo that you do. Because their head feels like it's going to explode. Hey, Void Walker. Grateful that you're here. I love that you have discovered your own divination methods. I definitely have some of my own divination methods too, because I'm a very visual person. I do a lot of drawing with divination and other things. I think that's what it's all about. It's figuring out how it speaks to us, what speaks to us. I love that. How did I get into tarot? I've been into tarot since I was a kid. Dusty, your spaceship is back. I've been into tarot since I was a kid. I started reading tarot cards at a very young age. I had a grandmother that read tarot cards and a mother that had her own kind of witchy ways. Reading tarot cards was probably the only thing that my mother ever encouraged me to do. And then I did put it down for about 10 years while I was in the cult. And I started picking it back up about a year and a half ago again, and don't know why I ever put it down. I used to do readings, a lot of private readings before I took that 10-year hiatus. Yeah, and then just recently started a tarot channel. I don't know, maybe about 7 months ago. I started reading again. But tarot has not always been just reading for other people for me. I know that a lot of people don't agree with this, but I've also have always used tarot cards as a hey, gorilla hands, as a way to connect to my mediumship communication and spirits and the divine, because I'm very visual. I have a very visual mind, so they speak to me through visual things, through different types of art. Tarot cards have beautiful art on them, so it's always worked really well. Why is this stuff coming through tonight, y'all? We've got focus, truth in the reverse, courage, good fortune. I always try to keep these energies out of our readings, but why are they coming in tonight? Someone's not being truthful. But if they do come through, I've got to listen. Someone here might really need to know about this. Sometimes it's going to take a hiatus from tarot. Sometimes it's going to take a break from tarot. I take a break from watching tarot regularly, like watching other tarot readers. Tell me about this truth card in reverse. I take breaks from tarot because I'm like, I know that the greatest source of information is within. So I have to take regular breaks to not seek it from without. When did I start hearing spirit? Oh, when I was a kid. I believe we all do when we're a kid, but the world teaches us elsewise. Two of Swords. The Emperor. The Eight of Wands. I know some of you have an important decision coming up. Okay? I know some of you have an important decision coming up. And this is just a warning that if you feel it all in the Eight of Wands, if you feel that you're in your head at all, know that all the information that's coming in may not be honest. Okay? So use your discernment, trust your discernment, whatever this decision is. If we're in a space where we need to make a decision, okay, with the Two of Swords, and that information is making us feel in the Eight of Wands, which is stuck in our head about it, something about it does not align with our truth, with the truth in reverse. Because again, remember, we have energetic sovereignty as the Emperor, and something may not jive. There might be some information coming in that's not jiving. If it gives you anxiety, if you feel uncertain, don't question it. Don't question it. Trust yourself. That's why sometimes we have to wipe out these beliefs, because we tend to not trust ourselves, especially if these beliefs were based in a time of trauma. Question everyone but yourself. when information is brought to you. Focus. Why the focus card? Screamstress, you live in Sasquatch territory? Hey, Darnell, welcome in. My app's not doing much anything, Jennifer. Did your phone die? I'm so... Giz, I am so sorry. Knocked over his crystal ball. Tell me about this focus card. Tell me more about this focus card. The moon. The 10 of Swords. The Fool. The 4 of Swords. This 4 of Swords energy keeps coming in. This is the same energy that I keep trying to wipe out. Okay, they're coming in. They're coming in the new moon. Okay, and it was just clarified by the focus card. And I feel like what the band is telling me is just stay focused on your own fool's journey. Okay. Just like you, whatever this energy is that can't figure out how you do the voodoo you do, they got to figure it out on their own. Just like you did. We're not here to save anybody. Can we treat them with kindness and respect? Absolutely, and we should. Be in a vibration of love around them? Yes, absolutely, we should. But these things, that this energy that keeps showing up is all up in their head about, is between them and their own divinity. You're the living example of that right now. But just as you went into hermit mode to figure that out, so don't they. And they're looking for the new book, see? Okay. They think you're reading a different book. They think you got a different book. They think there's a book with all the answers. So they're coming to you for the answers. I know. Poor Gizmo. I know. And that's why he wanted to be right here where he always is when I read. And I was like, can we not do that? Because I took you out twice on the last live because I tried to get over to the chat and read the chat. And he's like, okay, I'll sit back here. And then I elbow his crystal ball. Poor guy. I'm like a bull in a china shop. So my mama used to always tell me. Courage. I feel like this is that energy. It's taking courage for this energy to come in and talk to you. Ooh, there goes my guitar. Why would it be taking courage for them to come in and talk to you? This good fortune card is you've obtained something. It's in the mind. You've obtained something in the mind that they can't get to, and they can't figure out how you got there as the High Priestess. Tell me about this courage card. They're looking for that next leader. They're looking for that next master. But they just don't, they don't understand that it's in self. Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles in reverse, the Hierophant. We're getting the same message over and over and over again tonight, except for that High Priestess card. This is someone going through a tower, but unbeknownst to them, this tower is the best thing that's ever happened to them. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying because you've been there too, right? So haven't I. So haven't I. And they get to rebuild. They get to choose whether they wipe out the hard drive or not. Some will not. This energy may not. They may not be willing to let go of that level of control to become the High Priestess like you. This is going down the rabbit hole. This is choosing the red pill or the blue pill. You know? Oh, Lewis, you got a cat named Gizmo. Claire's got a gizmo too. They want someone else to choose for them. They're trying to figure out, whoever this energy is, they're trying to figure out how to emancipate themselves, but they feel like their head's going to explode right now. I don't feel anything like this repeating message that's coming in about this energy. I don't feel anything bad about this energy. I don't feel anything like this energy wants to attack, like anything like that. Like it feels like somebody is going to come into their energy. They are going to have lots of questions for you. They really want to understand where you are and how you got there. But the feeling is they're going to be slightly disappointed when you cannot hand them a manual. Does that make sense? James T, yeah, I think the Starseed family. I don't think this is the energy of the Starseed family coming to meet up with you. This is an earthling. This is clearly an earthling. That's in the glass box, but doesn't know it's glass and that they can break it and get out. Or they're in the cage and the door is open, but they're not flying away. Wooey is a pretty cool name for a cat too, Jennifer. I'd be walking around the house going, Wooey! Hey, Sabrina. Yahoo. Those are fun names. Yeah. Olga, that's probably your intuition, I'm sure, spot on about that, because that childhood trauma is what creates so much of our belief systems, right? You can direct them towards some good stuff. I mean, shit, I'm definitely not down with knowledge, you know? I'm a knowledge nerd. But the difference is I just don't take things at face value anymore. I filter information that comes into me differently than I used to make sure that it's stuff that really resonates with my soul, my heart, my body, and my mind, you know? And it's a fine line when it comes to trauma. I feel like it's a fine line. It's important for trauma to be validated to a certain degree, to be recognized, it needs to be recognized that we have experienced trauma. But then what can get a little crazy in the matrix is then that becomes all these diagnoses and labels and treatments and different ways of doing things, to where it just creates more labels and more trauma and more then it's like the trauma was back here making all of our decisions. But then when the trauma becomes here, like it becomes completely recognized, then we can take it on as an identity in a different way. All of us keeps us from our authenticity. Whose name have you haven't seen? Oh, Sabrina. Yes. Yes. Sabrina's back. It's been so good to see Sabrina. Darnell, I've had a dog named Cujo. Of course, I grew up in the 80s. I read every Stephen King book known to man. Oh, you have a pug named Yoda. It is the most appropriate name for a pug. I love pugs. I had a pug named Bruno that was one of my soulmates in this lifetime. I loved that dog so much. He was so fabulous. Well, Screamstress, I didn't know that you went Sasquatch hunting. I didn't know that was a thing in your parts. Screamstress, we need to do like a little reality TV. I don't know what woods you live in, but we should be running around with them hunting for Sasquatch with ghost lens goggles on. Oh, you're in the Seattle area. Oh my God. You live in a fabulous place. I haven't been there in a while. We need a ghost TV show, Screamstress. I think we should make it happen. I think I should come up and we should do some filming. I just recently found, I'm sure many of you probably already know about it, Screamstress, if you're into ghost stuff. I'm just way behind the times when it comes to media and stuff. I'm not. There's a comedian, Matt Rife, who I don't know how randomly he came up on my YouTube feed. They have that they do like this show called Overnight. Have you seen that? And one of the people that does the ghost hunting is that young comedian, Matt Rife. Guess he had all of these paranormal things happen to him when he was a kid. So he's really into ghost hunting. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like what they do kind of reminds me of the Blair Witch Project, but it's like real. Like they go and they like spend the night in these crazy places, and I don't know. I've been digging that that little YouTube show they have. All right, let's see what the last one is going through tonight. What is it? I don't know. I don't know. I'll leave you with this. What is this? Is this an old newspaper? With blood on it? What is that? Anybody have a guess? What is that? Is that the black blob, Jennifer, reading a newspaper in your kitchen? What is that? Don't say black. Did you type that before I said that? Matt Rife is funny. He's a cutie. What a young guy. He's a young guy. to be going all over the world. Works like a maniac. I respect that though. But yeah, he has his paranormal stuff is a lot of fun. I would never put the two and two together. Like just seeing some of his comedy stuff, or like I heard him in like a couple podcasts before, but I had no idea like he did this like paranormal stuff. But it's him and like two of his friends. And I saw this interview where he was explaining as a kid like a lot of paranormal stuff happened to him, so he was really into it. Lots of slacks. I don't know. No head, all pants. You had a document earlier with blood on it, huh? Yeah, there are good videos about paranormal stuff on YouTube. I mean, YouTube's really the only form of TV that I have, so I don't know if it's better than other places, but like I said, I'm kind of a cave person believe it or not, when it comes to technology. And not so much technology as popular culture, which is why I only reference 80s movies and 80s music. Check my email. I will check my email. Thank you, Scream Stress. Jennifer, do you also send me an email? Okay. 80s and 90s were awesome. I mean, I'm kind of biased because I'm 45, but you know about ghost stuff. Okay. Sounds good. I'm down. I'm down with some ghost stuff. Damage control crews fighting fire after watching a documentary. On the GhostTube app? Yes, Alicia, I do private readings. Please email me and I would be happy to get you on the calendar. If you want a private reading. I'm actually just getting ready to I'm finishing building out like a site right now for my services, and I'm going to start doing a couple different tiers of private readings, so that I understand that not everyone has $200 to get an hour reading. So I'm going to offer some private video, like recorded video readings or 1 or 2 question readings, just have some different tiers of things that are affordable to people, along with I'm taking some of my IFS stuff and doing some different types of like shadow work, coaching, and identity building. So that's all about to be launched very soon. Oh, it's almost your birthday, Sabrina. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sabrina. We're so grateful you're here. We're so grateful you were born, Sabrina. Okay. Last one. What do we got? We got a hallway. I don't know. This kind of looks underground, though. Does that look familiar to anyone? The light at the end of the tunnel is what that feels like. You got something similar at the start of the live. Akashic record room. Yeah, it did have that vibe too, Scorpio. The what is it? What is the room with the emerald tablets? There's a specific word for it. Why is it? It's escaping me right now. Oh, this is getting really active all of a sudden. That's interesting. This looks like waters. Healing waters. Okay. Y'all are the best. I feel like I was a little all over the place tonight. I mean, like, something's happened since that, the full moon that we just had, like in a good way, but I feel like there's a lot more there's a lot more energies happening. Like I'm trying to get centered and meditate on, like, I feel like I have to channel a little differently because I'm not just working with, it seems like the 4 or 5 spirits I was working with before. There's a lot more, and I'm trying to understand. Some of them I hear, some of them I see through visuals. So they don't all have the same message, though. They're not all on the same frequency. So I'm trying to figure out how to channel them and not be all over the place. I have to work on that a little bit. You've seen a lot of signs today, Rose. I love that. I love that. Yeah, the energy's been so heightened. And then and for me, I don't know if any of you experience this, but every time the energy starts to get heightened too, it's like, okay, for me too, they're like, there's something, there's like, I'm getting in my own way somehow. So there's like some energy that I have to work through too that is never necessarily fun, like, because I'm a big kid in a lot of ways. So I have to stomp my feet about it a bit. And I felt like I was stomping my feet in this dense energy for the past 2 days. So I don't know. You're magical AF too, Screamstress. And I really want to go up to Seattle area now. I haven't been there in a while. I love where you live. What is going on here? What is that on the table? What is that supposed to be on the table there? What is that about? Is that a camera? And look, it looks like he has a string in his hand. What's going on here? Is this confirmation, Screamstress? I think we need to be recording some spookies. Yeah, like one of those ones that almost like used to look like an accordion, right? Almost those old cameras. It's wild. Okay, y'all. I am going to say goodnight to you so that I can also get a reading up for you in the morning. I know I've missed the past 2 days. So I was intense. Okay, but fabulous as usual. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're always going to get a bit of intensity with me. It's just my personality. So that feels normal. Thank you, Dark Star. Do crystals find me? There are times in my life where I felt that crystals did find me. I don't feel like that happens to me so much now in my current location, but there might be a reason for that. I have dug some amazing crystals out of the earth with my own hands before, actually. I feel very connected to the energy in crystals. The earth, period. But yeah, crystals are special. You are up late for you, James. It's later on the East Coast for sure. Okay, y'all. It was so wonderful to hang out with you as always. And I'll see you for your energy check-in tomorrow. Love you all.